Welcome to this final workshop video all about whether or not my project made me happier. As I've been talking about happiness for these past 30 something, almost 40 videos, I think probably one of the biggest questions on your mind is whether or not my project made me happier. Whether or not I am happier after dedicating 11 months to my happiness. As I've been making these workshop videos, I've been writing in a notebook some things that I want to talk about in each video, but for this video, I didn't write anything. I just want to talk. Because I think that when it comes to truly identifying whether or not you're happy, you can't really plan that. It's a day-to-day thing, and anyways, the point is I'm just gonna talk to you. In one of my surveys, someone asked me how my definition of happiness had changed me between middle school and high school. I've been at the same school for 7 years now, so I'm a senior in high school and I've been at the same school. I've been around pretty much the same pool of people for a long time, and I am a completely different person than I was this time 7 years ago. And I think less that my definition of happiness has changed me as that I have changed my definition of happiness, which I think is as it should be. I know that I asked it in my survey, but I honestly don't know what my definition of happiness is, and that might be a little hypocritical of me, but my definition of happiness is encompassing all of these things that I've talked about in my workshop. As I am now, it has to do with self-love and independence and gratitude and the law of attraction and being positive. There are all of these things that I think contribute to my happiness and my happiness package that I never even thought about when I was in middle school. When I was in middle school, I was pretty naive, as I think most middle schoolers are, and if there are middle schoolers watching this, I don't want to offend you, but you'll grow up and you're gonna learn things just like I'm gonna grow up and learn things. I'm probably gonna look back on this after I've graduated college and think that I am naive now, as I'm sure that I am. I'm gonna keep learning. When I was in middle school, and honestly through my junior year, and really until I got like halfway through this project, I put my happiness in other people. I am definitely a social person and I love being around people, but one of my weaknesses of past Cassie is that I put my happiness in other people and I relied on other people for my happiness. So when my friendships or my relationships were not going right, that ruined my entire life, and I wasn't very independent and I wasn't very self-sufficient and I didn't create my own happiness. I really can't say whether this project has made me a happier person. The easiest answer is yes, it has made me a happier person, but there's a lot more to it than that. I've learned a lot, first of all, over the past 11 months, but I think that more than anything, this project has just made me more aware. It has made me happier, but the happiness comes from the awareness. Me, Cassie, right now, May 6th, 2017, is so much more aware of all aspects of my life than I was this time even last year, even 5 months ago, I think. I have learned to not only foster and manifest my own happiness and to be independent and not rely on having a boyfriend or having a person to talk to every second of the day. I figured out who I am more, and I'm aware of how I should be treating myself. I've started to figure out what makes me happy more, and I've started to figure out how important it is to be there for yourself first and foremost. I have become so much more intelligent in how I go about my life, and that doesn't mean that I'm a perfect person, and it doesn't mean that I don't procrastinate on my projects, but it does mean that I know how to take care of myself better. And I know that I can't be going 600 miles per hour every second of the day. I now know that when I am in pain, I need to address it. I can't just push it away. I can't put it on someone else. I can't blame anyone else for it. I need to address it for myself. I know that art makes me feel alive. I knew that before, but over the past 11 months, I have really truly realized the power that art has in my life and the power that I hope that it will have for the rest of my life. I now know that I am strong and that I am beautiful and that I can accomplish more than I can even imagine. I am going to accomplish more than I can even imagine. I don't know what the future holds for me, and I don't think that I ever will, but I am so much better at living in the now. I'm still working on that, I'm going to be honest, but I'm better at it, and I'm better at not getting caught up in what is to come. I do think that planning is important, believe me. I'm a Leo. I need to plan things out. I need to have some sort of idea of my life, but sometimes life is unpredictable. And if you have a set, solid plan all the time, you're just gonna get distracted and you're going to not enjoy what's happening right now. You never know who will come and go from your life. You never know what opportunities will come and go from your life. Not enjoying them in the moment is just totally counterproductive. I think I'm also more aware of how I present myself in the world and how I am perceived by other people. And of course, nobody can fully be aware of how they're perceived by other people, but I think that I've learned how I'm perceived, and I think that I've learned that I also don't really care. I definitely care about how my friends and how my family feel about me, and I definitely appreciate all of the compliments and praise and kind words that people give me, but I don't let those things define me. Sometimes I let them feed my ego a little bit, but I've gotten way better at not letting people's opinions be how I define myself. And I think that I'm a lot more aware of how I let other people's words affect me. I keep saying this word aware, and I feel like I need to articulate it a little bit better than I have been. I think that the awareness is an awareness of myself, of my place in the world, who I am and where I am going, and who is around me. And it's also an awareness of the things and people that I want to have in my life and the things and people that I don't need in my life. It's an awareness of being kind and being generous and grateful, and it's an awareness of how I am projecting myself, what I am projecting, and how I'm taking care of myself. After these 11 months of my project, I am happier, that's true. I'm not just happier, and I don't even think that that is the point. I am more aware, and I know so much more about myself. And I'm gonna keep learning more about myself, and I want to keep learning more about myself, and I think that that is important too. That I know I'm not perfect, and I know I'm not going to be perfect, but that I appreciate who I am now. And I can appreciate that I'm going to change, but I want to be aware of now anyways. I really hope that this makes some sense. I hope that this answers the question of whether or not I am happier after this project. This project was truly life-changing, and I am forever grateful that I chose to embark upon it. I want to thank everybody who has taken the time to watch these workshop videos. I want to thank all of my friends and family and my school and everyone in my life, because everyone in my life, whether you're in my life anymore or not, you've taught me something. And that sounds so cliche, but it's true. I've learned something, and sometimes it's easier to say and admit to than others, especially when people can be really jerky sometimes. I have learned I am a better person. I will become even better in the future, but for now, I'm happy. I hope that you are too. I feel like I need some sort of profound thing to conclude this on, but I don't have it, so go do something that makes you gosh darn happy. Thank you so much for watching my happiness workshop. I'm forever grateful. It's done! I will see you someday. Okay, bye!